So I get the question quite frequently about different ways to how you measure success as it relates to investing. One that comes up all the time is, what is cash on cash return? Well, in this video, I'm gonna answer exactly that question coming up. Hey there, it's Billy with Keep on Cashflow. Back once again, I'm gonna continue to share tips and strategies that are gonna help you to go out and make more money. They're gonna help you to have more control of your free time and ultimately live with less stress. So if it's your first time here, why don't you go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and you're also going to want to leave your questions in the comments area below, and you also want to check out any links that would also be here in the video. But as for today, I wanted to come back to this question of, what is cash on cash return? I get it quite frequently, and I think most of you know that I enjoy across our different channels, specifically on Facebook and on YouTube, like to do a lot of live interactions. And when I do that, really open up the questions for, I open up the platform for you to ask any questions. And I'd mentioned the other day in a video that I was doing some reading and I was looking through a couple of what I called higher level concepts. And even though I was reading through that, one of the questions that came up from one of the members in the community or in the tribe was, help me understand a little bit more about what you're talking about, maybe a higher level. And then there was another question that came later, which was really specific, and it was around what is cash on cash return. And so what I thought I would do is, because I took the time to answer that, and the question came from Juliet, which I really appreciate it. And like I mentioned, Juliet frequently is on our Facebook fan page. A number of you are also too on our YouTube page, on our YouTube channel. But the fact of the matter is, Juliet asked the question around what is cash on cash return. And so what I thought I would do, or what I did, is actually took time and really gave a very simple, easily visually pleasing video that actually breaks that question down and gives you a really concrete example so that you understand specifically what is cash on cash return as it relates to any investment. I particularly like to invest in cash flowing assets, real estate specifically. And what I did is I used a very simple example so that it's easy to consume and understand for you. So what I thought I would do is just, rather than explaining to you once again, I'd like to show you the video that we got from our Facebook fan page. And as I mentioned, you can go there. I'm there quite frequently, usually every day, and I'm there to answer your questions. The same thing on YouTube, and also too at the end of this video if you want to leave your comments. And also for those of you that find value in the video, I'm going to ask you right up front as well. Feel free to like the video as well as share it with others so that others can also partake in the education. So right now, what we're gonna do is go ahead and cut away to the video so that you can get your answer to what is cash on cash return. This is Billy Keels. I'm gonna ask that, once again, that you enjoy the video, and I'll come back and wrap things up. So how's it going, everybody? This is Billy Keels. I am back and Keep on Cashflow, and I'm actually just answering some of your questions. Had a great question the other day that came in as part of the, basically was doing a live session the other day on the fan page, and which is great. It's a great place to get your questions answered. Today, I'm actually gonna take a question from Juliet. And one of the things I was talking about was just, I was reading and I was looking at some of different concepts, financial concepts, things like that. And she asked, basically, I'll figure out how to put it here in the question, but basically she was wanting to understand when I said something about higher level concepts. And so basically one of the things that she asked about was cash on cash return. And I thought, well, let me just at least answer the question. I can draw it out, and hopefully this is going to be very, very helpful for you. So one of the financial metrics when you're looking at measuring your success in sort of a way from real estate perspective or investment in general is looking at cash on cash return. And basically what that means is when you're looking at the cash flow that you're receiving, and you're going to compare that to the amount of like the purchase of the property, let's say. I mean, you can go into a lot of the weeds and it's before tax, after tax, but let's just say this is the cash flow that you're receiving, and you're going to look at it against the cash investment that you are making. So let me try to make this super simple for you and really quick. So the whole concept we want to talk about today is cash on cash return. And what does that mean exactly? Well, your cash on cash return is basically, let's look at, imagine that you're putting in your money and it's providing you cash flow, and that cash flow is going to provide you in a year, because we want to look at this over a yearly basis, that you're going to make 12,000 in cash flow, right? You can call that dollars, you can call that euros, whatever. You're making 12,000 is the cash flow that you're making on an annual basis. And then you're looking at the cash on cash, and then what you actually, the money that you actually invested, right? The money that you invested in the first year was 120,000, right? Let's say $120,000, just to keep it simple. And that is your initial invested capital. And that invested capital, basically the way that you figure out the cash on cash return is you say, okay, you put in $120,000, and in that same year that you put the $120,000, that $120,000 provided you with $12,000 of cash flow. So basically, the cash on cash return, we look at your 12,000, which was the cash flow annually that you received, divided by the 120,000 that you put in the invested capital, right? And so basically, invested capital, which should give you, if my calculation is correct, let's take a look real quick. We can do that. 12,000 divided by 120,000 equals times 100 is 10%. So the math was right. So basically, you know that you got a 10% cash on cash return. So that's what cash on cash return is. Afterwards, is that good? Is that bad? Just depends, right? Depends on what you're looking to have your capital do for you when it's moving. So I just wanted to answer Juliet's question. I appreciate that. I'm going to be answering a lot more questions. So if you have a question, make sure that you join us in the over in the fan page. You can join us on either Facebook or YouTube. We'll be taking lots of questions. Ask me anything. And yeah, that's it. So hopefully this has been really helpful. And once again, cash on cash return, amount of money that your initial capital that you put in and how much that gives you over a 1 year period. So this is Billy Keels. Make sure that you check us out. Once again, if you're following us on Facebook, if you're following us on YouTube, make sure that you're subscribing and you're liking the channel, and make sure that you also receive the notifications so so that I can be sure to answer your questions. Have a great day and keep the questions coming. Hasta la próxima. So I hope you enjoyed that video, that you were able to see in a very simple way what is cash on cash return in a simple example that really broke it down step by step and helped you to feel more comfortable with the cash on cash return. So once again, as I mentioned before, really love to have your feedback. Leave your comments in this video. And also for those of you that are interested, I'm someone who works in a multinational, and I'm investing in cash flowing assets back in the United States while living in Europe. And so I've written an ebook, a step-by-step ebook that really breaks that down. You can feel free to pick that up at keeponcashflow.com/roadmap. And once again, if you like the video, go ahead and give it a like and make sure you leave your comments. Thanks so much. This is Billy Keels. That's my 2 cents for today. And as always, hasta la próxima.